We've got really great effects we're throwing on the.
Please.
Yeah.
Maybe if you can make me like put the dog filtered Snapchat one on me.
Wait,
Whoa. Oh my God. Can you believe that just came out of my mouth? I was like, whoa. I don't know why I did that. Anyways, this is Losers Pay Double. Oh, this is the first time that you're hearing that. This show is not called Divide We Stand anymore.
Oh yeah.
We're with Rob and Joe.
Guess who's back?
We're
back,
always with
back.
Joe, but Rob's here. How has your life been going and why do you hate us?
I don't hate you. I've had life changes going around. And as like many have probably seen, my show has been on hiatus as well. So like I don't hate you guys. I missed you guys. I loved you guys as always. And I just had to get some things right
Love
and
that
make
for
sure
you.
I was following, certain life things. But
Do you have any special, fun, awesome announcements you want to share with anybody since you've been gone, since your hiatus?
like no, I'm really laying low. I'm
Mhm.
really, really laying low. I don't there's no fun announcements because like still building, right? So like I'll pitch you off shortly is coming back soon. I'm not gonna say like right away, but soon. So but, we'll figure it out.
I feel that way too. Honestly, we recorded last week's episode and I've been like staring at it and like I started editing it, but it just has me like already so like, oh my God. Because I feel like by the time I edit it, everything is like irrelevant. Like it's just crazy. Obviously, like, I'm still gonna post it because like I'm just so entertaining, cool, fun, sexy, fresh, and awesome. And like everybody wants to see that. But just a lot of the stuff that we're talking about is already like, oh my God. Last week we talked about the Duggars and like,
Okay.
yeah, so you
I'm
missed
familiar with
it.
them. I'm familiar with them. That's
Anyways,
the
They
family.
fuck a lot.
Yeah, the
they
family.
do.
They're not players. They just
No.
Incest. It's crazy.
Jeez, that's scary. Like, yeah. I'm glad I wasn't for that because I probably offended a lot of people. In my mind, like
Mine is
past like
so
10,
bad.
like past 10 kids, and like they don't have friends. I used to watch like some of that. I'm like, none of these kids have friends. So that means you play with your siblings,
Uh-huh.
and there's a lot of exploratory things that I wonder. But never mind. I digress.
Well, one of the brothers did.
Oh,
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have 19 kids and one of them's not a weirdo.
That is so true. Like if
And
you look
his
at the
name is
statistics.
Josh.
oh, okay.
I don't
So
think there's
Josh
any
is good.
Joes. I think you were in the clear. I don't think we ever like discussed that. Is there a Joe Doug?
I don't believe so.
I don't believe so either. You're good.
Good job.
I'm glad because
How
Yeah.
have you been? You sent the kiddies back to school this week. Is that iconic? Are you living your best life? What's going on?
they went back Thursday and Friday.
Okay.
I was sick Thursday.
Mhm.
In bed all day. I didn't
So
get to enjoy it, but Friday I got to enjoy the benefits of the kids being gone for 8 hours.
nice.
amazing,
Love that
isn't
for
it?
you.
Yeah. I went out and had lunch with somebody. I came home,
Mhm.
still had like
I was like, hey, what do I do?
yeah, it was great.
That
Love
was
that
me
for
on
you.
I
Wednesday.
had all my work done too, so like I had all Friday like afternoon, evening off.
Mhm.
Yeah, it worked out really well. I was excited about that.
You know what I'm starting to realize? So like the things that I made fun of all my friends that had kids earlier about, and they're like, yo, man, I enjoy my time from whatever. I'm like, man, that's so like old family people stuff. I get it now, and I'm sorry for ever making fun of you guys. I completely get it now. Like my time from 9 to 3 is amazing, and I love it. But then also like I realized I like one of my boys, he's like, man, never doing the bus again. I'm always gonna drop my kid off. And I was like, yo, that's so like draining. And I did it all like last year, but it's even more draining doing the bus. So the time frame is 20 minutes, but it's 10 minutes prior, 10 minutes before. So if my son's bus comes at let's say 8:20, I have to be there at 8:10
Yeah.
between 8:30. But guess what? Of course, there's a shortage everywhere. So like the bus is always like an hour late. So I have a whole hour and 20-minute window that I'm waiting for. And they're like, yeah, we don't foresee it getting better because no new drivers are coming around. So, yeah, me.
I got to drive my kids in every day.
So there's no bus?
I'm going
Well,
back to that.
Yeah, my daughter could get a bus to that school, but my son can't because it's out of district.
Mhm.
Even though the school, I could throw a ball and hit it from here.
And you still couldn't
That's
get a
crazy.
bus. Well, that's probably why you can't get the bus.
Yeah, and then you know what? I'm actually all right with it
Yeah.
because, like you were saying with that window,
Mhm.
now I just drive them over there, drop them off, and off I
Yep.
go to Starbucks. It's perfect.
Love that for you.
Yeah,
Don't have kids, people.
When I was in school. I remember I used to like walk like so far. So like I could get on the later bus stop. It was like an hour after the one that I was supposed to be at, and I would wait my ass there for so long. It sucked. I would do it in the snow, just like I didn't have to be there. Sometimes if I just didn't want to go to school, I would walk the whole way to school. And it like was not like I used to think that it was like kind of close, but now like looking back on like how far I literally walked every day, like through like a snowstorm, like I would be
Yeah.
trenching in there and like my hair was like breaking off into like icicles, and
Yeah.
I would be like showing up at 12:30 and everybody would be like,
Like,
are
man,
you okay? Like not even. They'd be like, what the fuck is your problem?
Don't
Jeez.
forget, I'm from the 80s. And, like, I mean, I used to walk home from school sometimes from my high school. And I drive that route sometimes if I'm back home by my parents' house. And I'm like, that was like,
Like, how did
that
I
was
do
a long
that?
day.
in a million years, I would not walk that distance now
No.
under any circumstances.
Yeah.
I wouldn't need to because I have a cell phone.
I
Yeah.
got viral meningitis walking to school in the cold and rain. That was the last time my aunt ever had me like walk really
Damn.
like that ever again.
Really?
But I got mad free shit after a spinal tap and all this other shit. But
my
you know,
You had a spinal tap?
oh my god, yeah, spinal tap,
Uh.
viral meningitis. They thought I was gonna die. After I finally got
Oh,
like out of the hospital after like a week or so.
all because you walked to
My parents
school.
felt like so horrible for sending me to school and making me to walk that day. Like I got like inline rollerblades that were like $300 something. Mad new
Score.
Yas
mad new
rollerblades.
shoes, mad clothes and everything. So yeah, shout out to viral meningitis for the win.
I never
Mhm.
had any
Shout out to
diseases
viral
when I was
meningitis.
young. I didn't even have braces.
You
or any
didn't-
of that stuff.
Your
Mm.
teeth are nice. You didn't have braces?
No braces. Yeah, no, just always had straight teeth.
Look at you.
Are you
love it.
serious?
Yeah, no. I mean, believe me, I see people got a lot of good rewards for things like braces.
No reward was given to me. My
No.
reward was my mom being like, you better take care of your goddamn teeth because I just paid $16,000 for them. She does not have a Southern accent, but
It just came out. It felt
yeah,
right. Just-
she absolutely does not have a Southern accent. And
I
my
had
teeth
braces.
aren't even nice. Like teeth cam, real quick, you know, that's my tooth cam. They're not nice, you see? They're crossing in the front.
Oh, there's a little crossover.
They
Alright, that's
cross
fine.
all weird and not good
I
looking.
mean, at least your
Weird.
teeth
I
didn't look
just
like
got super
Cardi
lucky.
B's before she got her teeth done. So you're
They
good.
will. I feel like eventually over time they're just gonna like Cardi it up.
I mean, at that point, you'd be like 60 years old. It won't matter at that point.
You think?
Could be worse. You could have a space.
A gap?
True.
But gaps are like fashion. Gaps are like high fashion.
No, my son has like a bunch of like garage door openers all over his mouth. So he's
Keep
gonna need, like,
it.
20 like thousand of like braces.
He could be like a model.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like all like the weird like clothing stores will be like,
It's like
oh my
the
god,
luggage
yes,
broke
this
in
kid's
his mouth and it's
fire.
just letting water everywhere.
Oh my god. Is he
That's because
okay?
he sucked on his blanket. Like
How does he
Get
rinse
him
his
some
mouth?
dentures.
Oh my God.
dentures.
His teeth, and he like takes a sip. And he's like, just pours
he
it.
just takes the cup and it,
Yeah.
and it's just
Oh my
all
God.
crevices. It's like,
Also, your sinus infection, are you good?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Is that why you were sick on
I
Thursday?
was,
The same.
Yeah. It's it's a sinus infection. I don't have anything worse than that.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm taking stuff for it currently.
there's actually other things that gets wrong with other people's body outside of COVID.
I
Yeah.
know, but I wanted to talk about okay, so I feel like this is kind of like a reveal, honestly. But my boyfriend just got his first Fauci ouchie the other
Oh,
day.
wow, congrats.
Yeah, well, I don't have it yet. That's the reveal. I'm not vaccinated, and you can't be mad at me because neither is he. Don't even be mad at
He's
me.
I'm vaccinated.
No, you're not.
Oh, I guess breaking news.
You're serious?
I've been
Well, that's
vaccinated
something
for a
we wanted to
while.
share with everybody.
No. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that happened.
Because of the gig, I got vaccinated.
What does that even mean?
Remember, I said that if there was a right amount of money that you can get me vaxxed, that right amount of money
Oh
came
my
and I
god!
got
Now I feel
vaxxed.
like I literally have to do it. Well, I know that I
You don't
have
have
to do it.
don't feel peer
No,
pressure
now I
on me.
feel like I have
The
to do
only
it.
reason why I got it done was because
because my
I-
mom is scaring me out of it. She's like, "You better not get that jokey pokey, girl."
We know what a wonderful person your mom is.
Stop.
How often you listen to your mom and about what you listen to
She's
your mom about.
freaking me
This would not be
out.
one of those.
They're all freaking me out. Everybody's freaking me out, and it's also freaking me out that
Bro, I'm trying
literally.
to get another one. I want to get like. An
I know
update
you
or something. I'm
do.
looking for like a round 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm
I'm
loving
looking
it.
for
I'm
a
loving
round
it.
2. Yeah.
Is this like when somebody like
Because you have
fucks you
Johnson &
raw and then
Johnson.
tells you
I
they
got
have
the one
AIDS?
Do you
shot.
think
Yeah.
I should get that one? Because I heard that one's like the most like a normal shot, and I feel like nothing's gonna happen to me. Like fuck a blood clot. Like I'll get one, I guess. I don't.
No, listen. Here's the thing. Let me explain this, and you can pass this along to Mama. There were 6 million Johnson and Johnson shots given.
Yeah.
6 people had a blood clot.
Okay, I'm getting it. I'm getting the Johnson
Zero
and
people
Johnson
died of the blood clot.
vibes.
Hold on,
That's so
you're
peace
going
and
with
love right
Johnson and
there.
Johnson?
Well, I just
They
want the
give
one and
everybody-
done.
One shot. You're one and done.
Yeah, Johnson can't get baby powder right. They can't get some other shit right.
Dude,
they got
honestly,
a one shot. Yeah,
No,
band-aids.
I don't care.
Different. These are different.
I'm not
stages.
saying you have to go get
Different
the
way.
shot.
Just
I'm
get a
not.
shot.
I just am like scared because now, okay, so the
What are you
reveal
afraid of?
about him getting it, okay, it's not like I'm afraid
Is
of
he
like
okay?
a microchip or
Did
anything.
Did he get hurt from the shot?
Yes,
If
he has a
you guys
huge
could see this-
bruise on his
Uh-huh.
arm, and he's like feels like he's gonna die, and I'm like, I don't want to feel
You know what's
like
gonna
that.
happen tomorrow? He's gonna feel
No.
great, and it's gonna be like nothing's gonna happen. I got my shot. I had the chills for like 6 hours. I was like, oh,
I don't want the
God.
chills for 6 hours.
Just
Joe.
wait
wanna
until
get
your
COVID?
mRNA just starts
You
mixing
know what
up.
COVID does? You know how long the effects of COVID last?
But all my friends who have gotten the shot have gotten COVID after too.
I don't believe that at all.
So
That's
true.
not true.
Verify. Hit me
I-
in the
I
comments.
would
Friends
tell
with
you
COVID.
this. I would tell you this. You know, there's been a lot of talk of breakthrough cases. The FBI is also investigating.
This is
just brought
awesome.
a lady in who's given out about 60,000 fake COVID cards.
No, I was
Correct.
thinking about that.
So, if I had to
I'm
guess
loving
here,
it.
I would say the majority of these breakthrough cases are people who are full of shit and never got a shot in the first place, but instead paid for
Paul
a
Stanley.
card. So it's really, I mean, I've been around people with COVID since I got my shot,
And you didn't
and
get
I
it.
have not gotten COVID.
This is the
That's how it
thing.
works. If you
Mm.
if you really want to find out about COVID, call JJ Vargas. He does a show called
Oh, I
Still
know who that
Hot.
is. What am I stupid?
Hit him up. Hit up JJ. Ask him because JJ wasn't so sure.
And then he
they
got
had-
COVID?
Thanksgiving happened. Yep. He lost a couple relatives in the aftermath of it.
Not JJ.
Everybody got it. And he was like, oh my God, dude, this thing kicked my ass. For about 3 months, he'll tell you himself, he was worthless. He couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah,
3 months.
that's crazy.
Would you rather have the chills for 6 hours or would you rather be bedridden and in the poorhouse for 3 months? Because those are your options. Here's the other thing about COVID. We still don't know what the long-term effects of having COVID are.
I know.
The long-term effects of having the shot, I can tell you because I got mine like a year ago,
You.
is nothing.
Oh yeah.
Well, we can't
Hey,
say
we
that.
can say
It's
a
a year.
I got it in
Yeah.
April. I mean, it's
But-
September.
So
Which one do you have?
I think that's
No
another
effects.
thing that we do have to be appropriate about. So we say long-term effects and medical research. Long-term is not a year. Like long-term is like 5 years, right? So we still don't know what's gonna happen 5 years from now. A lot of people are taking risks. You know what I mean? It's messing with mRNA. They're still not sure exactly how that affects, bodies and stuff 5-10 years down the line.
They-
Not saying that
It's not that they don't. I mean, they
don't.
You're
You
saying
don't know
they
what's
don't. I mean, they have a
Idea.
predictive idea, right? A hypothesis about what.
but there's
and-
always
and-
something that can happen,
But listen,
right?
if the vaccine worked, you have to figure these people at least know what they're doing. So if they think long term, they have an
Well,
idea.
I was.
I would err on the side of I would believe it. It's not to say that we shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But
And my theory is in 5 to 10 years, there's going to be a change. There's going to be a change because you're messing with the body composition. If you get the vaccine, if you don't get the vaccine, you're still messing with your body composition. If you actually get the disease, or not disease, I don't want to say disease, but if you get COVID, right? You get COVID, you're messing with yourself anyways. Now you're going to have those people that I feel like I'm part of, where you had COVID before we actually realized what the hell it was, when it was when I was in my ass, kicked in my ass in the fucking bed for 3 weeks, thinking it was just the flu, and I knew it wasn't the flu. Like days where I was like, I'm not going to make it, right? But it's all, I feel like it kind of plays into that factor. I feel like there's still going to be some other repercussions now. 5 years from now, who knows? We might see that COVID is just like the regular flu, and those that didn't get the vaccine, they're just kind of like just safe. It's kind of just worked this way. But to say that it's long term it hasn't been long term. We were pretty much just out of a year of everything going into 2 years of people a year of your first round of vaccinations going through, right? So
Yep.
who knows? We haven't even had, to my knowledge, we haven't had a full maternity cycle of somebody being vaccinated to delivery to a full, you know what I mean, to 3 years
Let
from
me
that.
ask
You know what I'm
both
saying?
a
So
question.
yeah.
Legit, right? Did you ever have the measles?
No.
Mumps?
No. Well, I
Polio?
know it's because of like
Yeah, 'cause you had the
vaccines.
Right,
vaccination.
because
Yeah.
you got vaccinated when you were a child. Now, we've seen the long-term effects from those vaccines are nothing because it's been, 80 years of people being treated for that stuff.
But in my mind, though, shouldn't that should have kind of like phased out, right? So like everybody's pretty much getting that, which we know there's non-vaxxers, but for the majority of the people, like that should damn near not be a thing, right?
Right. Measles was nearly completely eradicated. And again, it's only because you're starting to find that there's these same anti-vax lunatics are having their kids not get the measles and the mumps and rubella and polio
And then
and stuff like that comes back. It comes back because people are stupid.
Okay.
You know, again, we've seen. I mean, dude, there was probably nothing worse than polio. Polio basically would paralyze you, but you're alive, and you get to spend your life basically
like a
in
vegetable
wheelchair and an iron lung.
Yeah.
No, but you're completely conscious.
Wait.
Your whole body is like,
Just there.
and you're like,
And
oh,
you're
this is great.
completely
Wow.
conscious?
Yes. It struck your limbs. It was just a debilitating disease. So, you know, again, that was a thing, and now it's not a thing. Nobody gets polio anymore. Everybody gets the vaccine when they're born, and we get the vaccine when we're born because, again, we haven't thought about that in a really long time. The other funny thing is, and I'm sure you guys have seen it, but you know, they talk about the Spanish flu in 1917. There was anti-mask idiots then too.
Yeah.
This is no different. I'll give you my best example. Yesterday, we were at a family party. And I didn't know half the people that were there. It was the other half of it. I don't know those people. I don't know who's vaccinated. We got, one lunatic from the Live Free or Die state. He's not vaccinated. He's not wearing a mask. And he wore a mask because I made sure of that. But this all comes from just a lack of information from people and a mistrust of science. That again, the same thoughts were happening in the 1917s and in the 20s and 30s. Every time they put one of these, it's not safe. We're fine. I mean, I think we're fine.
We'll see.
This could explain a lot.
I just don't know why the COVID shot is like kicking everybody's ass because like I've never heard of another
It
experience.
didn't kick mine though.
I've never had that. I've gotten vaccinated for like everything.
Same thing with the flu shot. If you get a regular flu shot,
that doesn't happen.
It does.
Don't.
It does, and the reason why it does is when they give you the flu shot, the actual flu shot has the flu in it.
Yeah.
I will honestly say it didn't kick my ass as much as I thought it was going to. Like the actual
Which one did you get?
I got Pfizer.
Pfizer gang.
2 dose. So like the second dose, I was like, I was dreading it.
Yeah.
But it didn't really.
Nothing happened.
Nothing really happened. I feel like some people are just like worry words. It's all a mental thing.
You think?
Like, and I had that. And I think some people are just saying that just so they can feel sympathetic about that as well too.
Honestly,
like
I do
my wife
that.
got the shot in her left arm.
Yeah.
And the next morning had a rash on her left arm and one on her right arm. And we were like, oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then like 4 hours later, like the rash was gone on both arms. And she
was
fine.
Yeah. I mean, your body's reacting to the serum that's going in your body.
Yeah.
There's going to be a reaction. And here's the funny thing. I think if your body does react, that's actually a sign of having a strong immune system. And this is what stupid people don't understand. When you get the chills or you start vomiting from this stuff, that's your body being like, fuck you, COVID.
Yeah.
That's just your body reacting.
I have heard that.
If you get hit and you're fine, I'd be worried.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what was in that shit? It might be a placebo.
That was what my friend said. Because honestly, me and my best friend are notorious for having literally the worst immune systems. Well, we're not like nobody like knows us for that. We're not like the sick girls, but like we just have like horrible immune systems. And like she said that she got the shot. She was the only one that like got the shot, and she was like, I was fine. Like I was just fine. But like she was like, yeah, I heard that the weaker immune system you have, like the less it affects you because like you're just fucked.
Oh,
when I
well,
took my-
there you have it, people. I'm
When I took my
fucked.
18-year-old, no, but again, dude,
You're
I mean,
fine,
you have
it's
a high
fine.
threshold, I think, for pain. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
might have been a little bit off. And
I mean,
used it
yeah,
to
I was,
power
yeah,
through,
like-
but
Yeah.
that's
That's
the
just
kind of guy
Rob
you
culture.
are.
It's just
you
that,
know?
yeah, it didn't.
I mean, seriously, I approached it like I wasn't worried about it, and I started just to feel a tingle in my back. I wrapped a blanket around myself. I lived the rest of my day normal. Again, it was 4, 5, 6 hours, and it just kind of all went away. So yeah, I do. I think there's a mental component of it. But when I took my 18-year-old daughter to get her shot, there was a woman there with her firefighter husband. And clearly, I mean, you know the type, okay? Clearly he had freaked this woman out about this shot.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure telling her it was a horrible thing and that we were all gonna die from it. She got the shot. My daughter got the shot. She sat down. They both had a drink of water. Kaylee and I were joking around laughing. And within minutes, this lady was like,
Oh, I don't feel so good.
And the husband's like, shut up. Just stop it.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's like, oh my god, lady, why are you even married to a scumbag like that? Number one.
Oh man.
But dude, I mean, I think most of that was mental. He put the fear of God into her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then you get a needle in your arm and you're like, okay, all right. I think people, again, there's if you go into this thinking there's a 50-50 chance something shitty's gonna happen to you.
That's me though.
You're I mean, again, dude, it's all in your
all
head.
my friends are like, you want to do acid? I'm like, absolutely not. I will work myself up to a point that's like, oh my god. Like
I don't think I would drop acid and get the shot in the same day.
I'm not
I was
saying that.
thinking, where
I'm
did we go
just
from
saying
just
like,
because of the,
COVID shot the ass.
if you did, I would just make sure you tell the person administering, be like, just so you know.
I'm tripping
And
balls
just because
right now.
I want to make sure that these things kind of jive out, but I
That's
am tripping
hilarious.
balls. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried
They would
to.
need to know that.
Yeah. Do you want to hear something?
I'm afraid to, but go ahead.
Oh my god. I'm literally might have to cut this part out or put like a sensor over it.
Well, good thing we're recording.
But my stepdad is a DJ and he has one of these DJs and he is like pretty close to my age. And they were doing a wedding and he literally looked at my stepdad and goes, just so you know, I'm tripping on mushrooms right now at somebody else's wedding.
That's amazing. That
What
is
the fuck?
classic.
Ballsy move.
Who does that? Imagine you're getting married. And then the guy running your photo booth is like, oh,
tripping.
balls. Like,
Now,
happy birthday.
was the music dope? If the music's dope, then I'm not mad. Now, if you tell me you're tripping on mushrooms and the music's trash, then yeah, we have an issue.
Mhm.
I would think. But if you're tripping on mushrooms and you throw
I will
pretty
not give my
bomb-ass
input on
party?
the music
I,
taste.
then yeah.
About 10 years ago, I went to a wedding
Uh-huh.
of some friends of my wife. And we were like together for like a few months or whatever. We go to this wedding. And I didn't even know this, but one of her really good friends, her husband ate mushrooms.
Mhm.
Was trying to get everyone else to, and nobody else would do it. And they were like, dude, it's like this people's wedding. Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with you? And I don't know, 2 hours into it, he was showing everyone the phone camera video of his wife blowing him. Oh yeah, dude, it was like, oh my god, dude, why are you showing
my
everybody?
god.
Why are you showing us all this?
I thought you were about to be like, yeah, so he finally got the bride and groom to take shrooms, so he was showing everybody it's okay because I got the what the
He was like, hey, look at my wife. And we're like, oh my god, dude, what is wrong with you? Why are
You
doing
can't come
that?
back
I don't
from
even
that.
Know you.
I don't even know you.
I don't even know you. I
Oh
don't
my
wanna see
God.
your dick.
if you're his wife, like, what do you like? Imagine being his wife on a dance floor like this, and he's just
And
going
he's just
around
like-
like, hey, look at my wife, she's hot, right?
She
Blowing
thinks-
me.
She thinks he's hilarious.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Can I say, honestly, that's happened to me before. And the kids' friends were like, oh, just so you know, like, what the fuck? And I was mortified, absolutely wanting to kill myself. How could you think that that is like, that's just Todd?
Yeah.
I love that video. Fun. I was going to put that on a little slideshow.
Well, maybe she has
in
an
the
OnlyFans.
reception.
Maybe, I mean, maybe maybe are we slut shaming? Are we?
Speaking of, I literally got a DM like the other day, and he was like this kid that I used to work with. I'm not gonna put him on the expos, but what the hell, dude? He like DM'd me back in July, and he was like, "Hey, I got a business question for you." And I never responded because I thought he would just like, hit me with it. And then he was like, yeah. I got a business question for you on like August 1st. And like, I never answered again. And then he goes, can I ask it like a week ago? And I was like, literally what? Like, what do you need a business question for me? I don't think
Right,
you
what would you
know
like me
any
to
business.
consult you on?
Yeah, what would you like?
Oh,
I don't
God.
think you're not. Well, I don't know what's going on here.
I'm
So then
scared.
I was like, yeah, what? He goes, do you have an OnlyFans? You make content? And then I was like, what the fuck? Like, that is your business question that you've been itching to ask me for the
Didn't
past like
OnlyFans get shut
3
down?
months? Like, what?
We see, maybe he was asking if you wanted to start
Collab?
Yeah.
No. Like, what is going on here on this day?
Did he wanna manage you?
I'm getting requests. Leave a comment. I'm just kidding.
Hold on. Did you just ask for like suggestive if you should make an OnlyFans?
No, it
Whoa,
was kind
is
of
that
a joke. It was a joke, but I was just like, I don't know.
I was gonna say just
and then
do
I
it.
went through
but if
like
you
my
gonna do
stuff,
it,
and I was
but-
like, does my stuff like give off the impression that I have one?
No, I don't think so. However, I think about a minute and 45 seconds ago, you said that there's a video of you out there.
Stop.
And I pretended
that's
like I
where-
didn't
okay,
catch
that-
that, but
okay.
I did.
That's why I had
This is
asked
no
because
good.
I had
Yeah.
heard and
I don't know if we misunderstood you or
you just have to be careful in these times. Like it's not like early 2000s where you could, you know what I mean? You got to be
Yeah.
very, So, anyways, okay. So,
because California, they
My
got
life
a whole
sucks.
revenge porn law.
No, I'm not
when you
against-
if you have a video of that, you can't disseminate it.
I'm not against women or anybody that wants to use OnlyFans for that nature or whatever the case may be. I just think it's super fucking creepy if you're a dude and you're just leading
Like,
with, "Hey, you got to
Asking a
only
specific
like that's
person,
nasty minded."
Like,
yeah.
I want, like,
I
I would
want you
pay
to
money
have,
for
like-
you. Like, that is
Yeah.
crazy.
Is that his way of saying like, "Hey, if you don't have one, maybe you should"? And now
I have
that's
no idea.
that's sick.
I
That's kind of
don't have like a problem with it, but like honestly, the reason that like I wouldn't start it is because like I think like honestly under like 25, and I think that there like should be like a law about that, like within like porn and like sex work and like all that kind of stuff. If you're like under 25, like you're really not like conscious enough to like make that decision like for the rest of
Agreed.
your life and like have that be your career and have that be tied to you.
I don't
And
wanna
it's
say
also
agreed, I'm
creepy.
not
Like
a-
the day after somebody turns 17 and they're 18, they're literally no different from the day before. And it's just like, feel like you should be
I think
25.
you're probably right. I think people under that age probably aren't.
Your
making
brain
good
is not
decisions.
fully developed until you're at least 26. So it's
Especially
like, how do you know that you
for-
don't want to be a little teacher legend?
But both ways, right? So like even for like, because I guess like the hip thing now is like younger
know.
men, right? So it's just like I think a lot of people I gotta advocate for us young men, right? For the men, right? It goes for you can't just have 18-year-old dudes over there that look 20 years old, 21 years old playing, oh, I'm out there with this MILF or this
Mhm.
cougar or all that. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta advocate for, the young guys that get sexually taken care of as well.
What an interesting pickup line, though. Like you walk up to a woman, you're like, "Do you have an OnlyFans?
That's sick.
Because I'd like to be your OnlyFan."
Now you switch it. Oh, that's a good line.
Because I'd like to be your only fan. That is
Ooh.
so
I know we're
good.
Somebody
gonna
for
drop
pay
you.
you
bombs on that.
$15,000 a month.
Uh-huh.
Now, if he would have came at you like that and was like, "I want to be your only fan," that's a pretty tough line. That's a tough bar. Like if you and then he like, what if then he like cashed at you like 1,500? Like, what do you do? Like, do you like?
What do you do?
What do you do?
Accept the
Does it-
money and probably block him because he
There
like
you go.
he was weird.
See,
He was weird. He had bug eyes.
I don't
He
know what
looked
So,
like
blocking means.
fellas,
That-
no,
Block?
Victoria does not
You
have an
know
OnlyFans
block?
right now.
I don't know what that. No, I'm joking.
Oh my God, are you
I know
okay?
what a block is. You would take the money.
Yeah, for shits, take the money. Love taking money.
How much would you have to make for you to be like, okay, I'm okay making an OnlyFans?
Well, honestly, enough for it to be like sustainable for
Mhm.
like the rest of my life. Like if I knew that I like could like this would be my career and it would be like an actual, like I would be okay. I wouldn't have to work anymore. Like I wouldn't have
You would
to.
call that a career, though?
If I didn't have to do anything else and I was financially stable,
Yeah.
hell yeah,
You
you
would-
I
wouldn't
would
do
do
that.
it.
Do you guys
I would.
understand what I do for a living right now? I literally scrub toilets. I scrub grown men's toilets. And me and my mom have this debate a lot of the time on which, because she has like a very different like look on like sex work and all that kind of stuff than I do. And obviously it's a generational thing. And like she thinks that it's like so much more degrading to be like a stripper and making like thousands of dollars a night, or
Yeah.
to be like on OnlyFans and like making like over 6 figures. Like she thinks that that is more degrading than like honestly what we both do. We are housekeepers, and I literally walk around a warehouse every day and scrub grown men's diarrhea off the fucking toilet. I do that every day. That's pretty much, I would say that's selling my body too. I literally have to show up there every day and scrub a fucking toilet. Like which one is like more demeaning?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody telling me I'm awesome, sexy, fun, and great for literally just existing and paying me for it, or literally having to scrub human feces.
You don't even have to do sex work if I'm
Wh-
right.
Which
Like
one
OnlyFans,
is seriously like which one is more degrading?
you can do modeling. Like you can sit there. Like I mean, all the girls I guess are wearing
I don't even think you
Savage
can do
Fenty
any
and
of
all
the
that and
bad
getting
stuff
paid,
anymore,
right?
right? I think
Well, they
banned, like,
put
sex
it
acts.
back because like the whole reason that they banned it in the first place was because obviously when you do that kind of stuff, like same thing, it was on Pornhub, like a hella shit had to be taken down. There was like a lot of like moderation and stuff. There was child porn all over OnlyFans.
See, now that's a whole crazy different thing like that.
And
That's,
they weren't doing verification checks properly, especially in other countries. Like in the United States, for the most part, it was fine. But like in other countries where like I don't know if the server was like different or different people were running it or what the hell was happening, but a lot of things were like getting through the cracks, and they just didn't want to deal with it. So they were like, we're just gonna ban it as a whole. And then like they realized, I think, like obviously how many people would really be dropping out of it.
Yeah.
Because if you look at like the top like percentage on OnlyFans, it's only sex workers. So if you take that away, then they
that's
don't have a platform. Like nobody cares about, like I saw a OnlyFans ad for like a surfing video. And I'm like,
Like-
really? Like nobody's gonna watch that. Like
how
who's gonna pay for this guy to like be riding waves?
how
Not
many
me.
OnlyFans average are people subscribed to? I wonder. So like like I think about like your followers versus how many people follow you on Instagram and social media like that. Like how many people on average can you really subscribe to on a monthly basis before you're just kind of like just tapped out?
It depends on how much. I
That's
feel like
crazy.
Tapped out of money or tapped out of
Both. That too. And then I still don't understand that
joke.
too. But I still don't understand that too, right? If you want to take yourself to that level, right, and have fun with yourself, why are you paying $5.99 a month when you can literally go to Pornhub, X videos for free?
a lot of that
and-
is like an ethical thing, because
Mhm.
I do know that like a lot of people that switch over to OnlyFans is because you really have no idea what you're watching when you're on Pornhub or X videos or any of that. It could literally be a 15-year-old and you have no idea.
Mhm.
And that's scary.
True.
FBI.
Okay, I'm just trying to educate myself as somebody. Like I don't knock sex workers, not necessarily like I don't use sex workers or feel like that's a thing. As somebody that loved the strip club back in the day,
Mhm.
I will say like super pro strip club. There's a lot of hustles. If you know the strip club for what it is outside of what like society looks at it as,
Mhm.
the strip club is an amazing place. You can get
This
a
guy's
lot
not
of
just pro strip club. He is super.
Pro strip
super
club.
pro strip club, super pro.
Love
Like
that.
if I could.
Love that for you.
If Connecticut wasn't so stupid with the laws here, I would open up a strip club and it would be phenomenal.
Mhm.
Like, forget the Gold Club that's off the highway. Like, my strip club would be phenomenal in the cut somewhere. Oh my,
I've talked to some of the dancers from that strip club before.
and it's horrible.
And
probably
no,
make good money.
they actually said that like there's like 6 bouncers and they like
Mm.
individually like walk them out to the cars like at
Yeah.
night, and like they like hold their like suitcase
Oh, yeah,
of
yeah,
money
yeah,
and like
definitely.
make sure that like
It's a-
nobody like fucks with them or anything.
It's a very well protected.
Yeah,
thing.
like
And then-
that one is like okay, but it's also like it's sad in there. Like it is sad. Like you could see like a couple girls like this is booty cheeks.
Well,
The
yeah,
bathroom
like
is so dirty.
so,
Sorry,
like, a
talking
lot
about
of-
the strip club experience
And-
of Hartford.
a lot of girls actually go, but they don't understand that like stripping is more than just dancing and looking good. Like it's an actual like art. you have to make a connection with somebody. Like, you have to engage with somebody
Mhm.
to get them to want to spend their money on you with this time, right? So like, you're literally converting your time. You have a certain amount of time within this window to engage with somebody to get them to buy you drinks, spend their money on you, and literally that's it, right? So now you're also you're fighting with the girls that have been here for a little bit that actually have a customer base.
Joe was like,
Oh,
what
yeah,
has
Joe,
this episode
we can
turned
make.
into?
I don't want to
like,
take
it
over.
is just
'Cause
not.
I'll tell you who I am.
Yep.
I've only been at strip club, a handful of times, and I'm the guy who everyone's all around this
Oh my
age,
God.
and I'm just sort of off to the distance, disinterested. And when the young lady
ruining your
tries to get
table?
me involved, I'm always like,
Am I?
who hurt you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like
That's
I'm
fucked
that,
up.
Like, you know what? I'm sure your dad loves you.
You're
So-
kind of fucked.
I don't know. What am I supposed to say? It's a damn thing. It's just like, you want me to sit on your lap? And I'm like,
No.
you want to talk.
It-
You know what I
and
mean?
that-
Kind of.
and that's how
through whatever we're doing up here.
my true
You're rude.
like moments in the strip club started from me and my boys just wanting to go find somewhere to watch the NBA finals. And we knew that the only
NBA
place that we could
finals.
watch the NBA finals and not be interrupted was the strip club, because they had it on, but everybody was more focused on the girls. And literally at that point,
That's a good idea.
at the point where we weren't paying the girls any mind, because we were literally there for the
So they
buckets
were
of
probably
beers.
like, fuck
and they were like,
these
what are they-
guys.
At first, they were like, well, what are y'all here for? We're here for the game. Oh, yeah, everybody says that. But when you literally go there and you're like, yeah, no, shorty, you're cool. I'll buy you a drink, but please let me watch the game. They're like, huh. And then that's just intriguing, right? So then
Mhm.
the girls start coming to you and just start being like, hey, well, what do you got? And now you're getting their attention. The
Rob's
game
tips.
switch- Oh, yeah. the
Strip
game-
club tips. If you're looking to take home a stripper, this is how you
so
do
peep. So not even the take home, but literally that same night we got cool with two of the good strippers there.
it. Mhm, the good
Not
ones.
every stripper's a good stripper, but two of the good strippers there, and we literally kicked it with them all night. Went to Waffle House literally afterwards, and like it was a good night. We didn't do anything, and like literally we all
Waffle
went our own
House.
separate ways after Waffle House. But it was dope, and that was our introduction into the strip club and learning and like just talking to the girls. Like, these were vets in the strip club, and just seeing what it was, and then going to the point where we would literally, like, there would be a line. Me and my boys, yeah. Hey, what's up? Oh, looking to the owner. We're not getting wanded. We're not going through security. We're da. So tip, so we can get off a strip club. I tip for the day. Rob's strip club tip for the day. If you go to the strip club, do not go when the strip club opens. Like, if it opens at fucking 10, or if the flyer says 10, do not get there until 12. If you get there at 12 and the club closes at 3, do not throw your money until the last hour. Right? So if they're going crazy, that's when everybody goes crazy.
What is this?
So-
Strippers are not going to like this
Nope,
advice.
that's fine. Listen. They're getting their money either way, right?
okay.
So what's going to happen is,
What's going
especially
on
if you're
on
looking
this
to
day?
get the attention of somebody, right? Whether it be a stripper, because more than likely you're not going to get the attention of a stripper. You're now trying to impress other females that are there, because there's a lot of females in the strip club, right? If you're looking to be impressive, you're not going to be impressive throwing your money out throughout the night, especially if they're going to be a long night. I hope you got some money, right?
Mm.
All of the big celebrities, all of the big money comes out at the end. You will notice that, right? Towards the last hour and a half, that's when the big money, that's when all the celebrities, all the people that's when they really start
Me.
throwing money. So if you want to look like you got it, fake it till you make it a little bit, get yourself close around, and when all the money starts throwing around, that's when you throw your money.
Or if you
Because
want to
n-
really fake it until
Huh?
you make it, you bring me to the strip club, because I am so insecure and I don't want to look like I'm a bitch. I don't want to be here and I'm jealous of all of you. Like, I don't want to look like that. So I'm so overtly nice and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like throwing like thousands of dollars. And then I go home and I'm like, I have no money. Because I try not to look like an asshole, because I don't want them to be like, oh my God, that girl is a bitch. So they all start like running over to me and they're like, oh, she's so nice. And I'm like, I'm not really. I'm just overcompensating for being a fuck
I
ass.
want to be like, who hurt her? But then I realized that she's still young. So I'm going to help you now. So now this is the best way.
Who hurt
So
her?
with that personality, we're not going to throw all the money, right? We're going to learn how to throw everybody else's money, Victoria. So you're going to go to the strip club and you're going to dress as best as you can, right? And you're not taking away from the girls, but what do guys like seeing more than other guys like enjoying themselves with strip clubs? When a girl's enjoying herself with the strippers, right? So this is what you do. And what do guys do all the time? Shit. Here you go. Have fun. So as he's throwing you $1,000, you're throwing maybe 200. You pocket your 8,
Mm.
throw her 2, keep it fucking moving.
This is crazy.
See, I'm here to help you.
This episode is really good.
Here to help.
And I'm all like, what other interests do you have? Photography.
hustling with Rob.
Do you want to start a podcast? I don't know.
Oh, we can.
Yeah.
Oh,
That would be fun. Imagine if I like next time either one of us goes to the strip club, we bring a
I
stripper.
promise you, I can get a bunch of strippers. Well, not a
vaccinated
bunch,
stripper.
but like, yeah, I can get some strippers up here. And we can.
Let's interview
Some
strippers.
vaccinated strippers.
We're down.
Do you want to?
Yes.
Production's like, no, we can't. I'm pretty sure if we ask legals, I'm like, but let's do it anyways.
Yeah, why not?
Fuck it.
Why not? Wouldn't you like to get to know and understand the mindset of a stripper?
Of like candy,
So pro
would.
strippers.
Don't you want to know what it's like?
kind of.
If I can go around and do the helicopter all day, like,
Helicopter.
yo, so back when it was
Oh my god! I just got it.
Jesus. Why did I say? Anyways, can we edit? What I was trying to say, if I could be a stripper all day, I would like.
Right, because like
I
honestly,
would.
like what's more demeaning, like working a regular job or just being like, oh my god,
If
I
I
just
wouldn't
look like this,
if
and
it
I'm
wouldn't look
existing and I'm
weird
making
of
money.
me. So like, if I could find the girls that would
Like,
allow me
right?
like the bachelorette parties,
Yeah.
I'm totally helicoptering them from all day.
That's hilarious.
Just hey, so yeah.
Love this.
I mean, it's a good.
Maybe we
it's
don't
a-
need to edit. Maybe
a
it's just
high
raw.
paying
Just fuck
job.
It's
it,
just
you know?
raw.
I guess that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Is if you feel like you got something to sell, you could sell it. You know.
And it sells itself. So
Yeah.
Seriously, like what work do you even have to do? You just have to be like, oh my god, yes.
But you know,
That's
you're
what I
right.
would do. I would
I
say
think-
that as I
I
was
mean,
doing
all work,
that. I said, oh my
all
god,
work
yes.
is somewhat degrading to some degree or another.
Oh, right?
At
Except
some
for,
point.
I feel like this is kind of fun. Except for, like, also, it is kind of like, I mean, I don't want to say it's degrading, but like, I really do just sit up here and spill the beans. Like,
but if you
know what
enjoy
I
it though,
mean?
it's good.
Like, it's fun,
It's like
but it's
therapy.
like,
exactly.
Nice.
yeah,
Therapeutic.
like, I don't know. I just feel like, if anything, my personality and the things that come out of my mouth about myself are like a lot more degrading than me ever being like, oh my god, look how great I look right now. You don't look this great. I look great and you don't. I'm great. and you're
I
not."
Do
can't
it.
imagine a scenario where we would have ever had this conversation if we weren't doing a podcast.
True.
You
'Cause
don't
then
think? We've talked about some weird shit off camera. Do you remember that one time that one
At band camp.
lady told us off the stream
Oh,
about her like marital affairs,
Oh my
and we
Lord.
were just like sitting there, and Rob was like, "Okay, gotta go." Like, he just, like,
I was not
walked off,
staying for that
And
conversation.
me and Joe were on there
Not
for like
staying
another
for that
10 minutes
conversation.
talking to her about
Nope.
like
Nope.
screwing her husband.
Nope. Nope.
Like,
When
it
she
was
said she was doing what
crazy.
she was doing, I was like, yeah, nah, gotta go. But
So
I gotta
honestly,
go right
I can't think
now.
of a scenario. Like we had, like we
Yeah.
have run into some obstacles over the,
True that.
you know, hit some. What are you gonna do? But
Didn't you
it's
say
good to
that-
know that I wouldn't be disowned if I was 25 and I chose. Because sometimes I do think about that. Like if I'm not like where I want to be.
Mhm.
Like especially like doing, because like I want to be like an entertainer at like honestly any capacity. Like I'm not like, I will not like have a regular job. I won't. So like if I wasn't where I wanted to be by like a certain time, like I might think about doing something like that, especially if I like didn't want to do like any other like career path, or
Mhm.
like if it just did not seem like appealing to me, because it really does not seem like the worst job in the world. Anyways,
Once again, I
anyway,
support everybody in their
but
endeavors.
it's
with
not coming
whatever.
anytime in the future. I just
So
felt
stop
like
asking.
So,
just stop asking.
Yeah,
So
weirdos.
sad.
I feel like Instagram modeling is like the lead into OnlyFans. Like they get enough followings. They're like, hey, I model lingerie, and then like
Mhm.
500K later, they're like
'Cause it's like, what
OnlyFans
does it
link in
even
bio.
matter? Like honestly, at this point, like everything is out on the internet, and it's like 2021, and it's like, okay, if a job doesn't hire you because there's like a nude of you like on the internet, like
Mm.
that's everybody. I
feel
feel
like
like
those days are over.
that like those days are over. So like I just feel like what is really different. Obviously, I mean, if you're like, I want to be a superintendent, like maybe
There's
don't
certain
have
things.
an OnlyFans, but like I feel like you could be like an art teacher with the OnlyFans. Like, what's up with that? You
That-
could maybe do
That would be a
How
good
about
question for
that?
the strippers. Like, ask them like what,
yeah, like what are you like
careers are
aspiring to?
like, because I no, well, yeah, I don't
My
want to stay on
favorite
this.
will be any of them that are like, just this.
Just this.
Always wanted to be
Just
a
want a
stripper.
stripper.
I feel
That
like
would be the
it
girl
makes
I'd really want to
sense.
talk to.
Yeah.
I'd be like, growing up, who's your hero? And she'd be like, my mom, also a stripper,
What if she was like the
Mhm.
Dalai Lama and you was like, holy shit?
right?
I don't know.
Which sidebar?
I
This
don't
is so
think
crazy.
anybody looks to get into that line of work, do they?
Well,
Ye-
honestly,
think so.
in this like generation of like TikTok and stuff,
Hell yeah.
I'm on Strip Talk, right? And I feel like that's how like I know a lot about like strippers because like I don't know if you know about the For You
What's- what
page,
the
but it
hell
like
is Strip
generates
Talk?
what
Sorry,
it like
what?
thinks you are.
What is strip talk?
Strip Talk is like a section of TikTok. Like they have everything talk. Like they have like
How do I get to
freaking-
strip talk?
you have to be basically my brain, you know.
Oh, it's in your algorithm.
It's like generates like what like it like thinks, and I guess it thinks that I'm a stripper. I don't know.
Oh,
it
because
wouldn't
of
be the
things
first
that you
thing.
be liking and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, engaging.
What
Oh,
is
your
it-
engagement. What
what
the
is
hell
it
do you
you're
be
liking?
engaging with?
That you got
It's
to
my
stop.
whole For You page is just like girls. Like it's literally just like girls.
See,
Either
this
like
is so
complaining,
bad because,
crying,
like, I'm
or like
super.
looking great. Like there's literally like that's my whole like TikTok For You page. And currently I'm on Strip Talk. And they just like give you like tips and like tricks. And all the comments are like 13-year-olds being like, honestly, like
Okay, nope, I'm
stripping
out.
seems like the perfect job for me because like all I want to do is just like dance on stage and like make money and like be a savage and like wear high
Well,
heels.
we created an entire generation of strippers.
We
I
are
think we have
like this is that
And so-
generation.
You
But
figure,
it's-
yeah,
but it's also
because
like
literally
who
that's literally it.
cares?
I never liked Instagram. I thought it was the stupidest thing the second I saw it.
Why? You're just
I
a
just
hater.
feel so bad. Like this is a horrible.
That's not your
It's
generation.
so stupid.
But do I not look great?
I hate that I'm the PR
I do.
person
No.
You're saying I don't look great on
because
my
like there's so many
Instagram?
No.
questions I have.
Your Instagram photos are all stupid.
That's
You're-
so
You're
mean.
a, listen, here's and I would tell most of the Instagram people I see, you're all very
I'll piss you off,
lovely and attractive people. Your pictures are stupid. They're not artsy.
I can't
They're-
look at
they're
anybody's
not
pictures
cute.
under 25 because like the fact that they're not to say that it's a problem with them okay with showing their goods, but to me, like I can't be like cool, like Victoria's cool. Like we do a podcast together. You're supposed to support each other's like social medias and everything else like that. But when I'm scrolling, and this is just all honesty, and then Victoria's like, and I'm like, I'm not
don't
supposed to
even
see
really
that side
think
of
that.
Victoria.
No, dude,
scroll,
so,
scroll.
1,000,000%.
But
you know what? Seriously,
If I like it, I look like the pervert. But
Yep.
if I like it, just so be supportive, I look like the pervert because they're
Yeah.
like, "Who's this old ass
No.
dude?"
Also,
But
everybody
that's
can
the-
see the shit in their feed of what you like.
Exact-
Yeah.
So
Like, oh,
that's
man,
the
I wonder
awkward
I like.
point. So I think that's the
Creeper.
awkward point for right now. So I'm like, you can't. But then if you look at it, right, back in the day, and not people would have like 20 years of separations and relationships. So now when you think about just like friendships and like co-working things, like even in fucking where I'm working at now, some co-workers are old as shit, some are your age.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want you on my social media because I don't want to feel like the creepy old fucking dude. But when people are open and expressing themselves and open with sharing themselves in certain capacities, which I definitely don't mind, like, cool, be yourself. But how am I supposed to engage with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I go about engaging with? Perfect. How do I go about
Hey,
engaging
Victoria,
with you?
great pictures. I
and
like
without
that
looking
one
like
at
the
end
creep?
of your ass.
Especially when,
Weird.
and it's nothing wrong. And that's what I'm saying. It's nothing wrong. I want Victoria to, if she wants to post her ass and fucking
Sure,
Fenty
And it's not
every
about-
day,
it's not even
go
about
ahead and do it.
Victoria. It's not even-
I just use it for as an
Right
example
on.
because
But you ever
that's the
notice,
only
listen,
thing that I have to do,
any
right?
any Instagram post with more than 3 pictures, you know, you like
Yeah, you already
the
know.
third picture
Is
is
an ass.
definitely going to be an
Yeah,
ass
is it-
shot. And
yep.
It's like where in America did we teach our like 18 to 24-year-old women that if you're posing for a couple of nice snapshots, that at some point you should like
Well, they want to show their
us your
bum.
ass.
Is it
But
okay though
why?
to like?
But
Not saying that
why?
I'm liking your
Who's-
bum, but
who's
if you,
telling these girls that should be I mean
that's their
think
way of
about back in our
expressing.
day, would a girl ever do like post for a photo and she's like, Get my ass. What?
Well, no, they did, but those pictures were developed
Ridiculous.
and they weren't shown anywhere. They
Well,
just shared.
why?
They shared them in their girl
Because
circle.
again, we had the common sense to not share that.
But
kind
we're
of shit.
but that's the thing. We're old, Joe. So we're old.
That's got
Minds.
nothing to do
The-
with it, though.
No, but no, it does
What
though.
is the point
This
of
is the
showing that. What do you think you're getting?
Because
at
they're
that?
free with
Because
it.
I
They're
do get
free.
like honestly, like
She
you
likes to
do
look at
get
her
stuff out of
Well, I'm
it.
sorry.
Like genuinely, like if you don't like, and it's like so true. Like if you don't like post a certain way, like Instagram like does not promote your stuff, and like there's like no chance for like sponsors to see you or for anybody to like send you
Mhm.
anything, or like literally like nobody cares about like a sweater queen,
So
or like if I was like in like a full like
Yeah, like a nice mom.
jumpsuit
but yeah,
like in every picture, or if it was just like me from like here up
You
or
feel like-
something like that. Or honestly, I feel like it's true. Like when I post on my Instagram, especially if I post something that's
More
not
showy,
just my
more-
face,
yeah.
and I am like, oh, we're going live at this time, we will have significantly more people
engagements than-
on that episode than prior.
So
like
is
you
that
know what
the
I mean?
mind?
But it's just like I mean it sucks, but like it doesn't even like really suck. It's like whatever. Like you got to do what you
Does
got
it
to do
bother
because
you,
a
though?
lot of things about my
I see. I think
not
there's a
really
whole-
because
the-
I think I
the-
look fantastic.
So and that's like
the whole Me Too movement started off of that idea of like you just do what you got to do. I mean, a whole generation of women went on dates and were fucking people because they felt obligated to do so, not because they wanted to.
I think
You
that's the
guys-
difference. The difference
you
between
guys are the one-
obligated and free will. Like
But
I
it's
want to
not.
do this, and I feel like
the only way you're going to see my pictures on Instagram is if that third picture I give you the ass shot.
and that's the obligation feeling, right?
That's fucked up.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
if she was saying if she would have led with, and this is just me trying to sort it out. If she would have led with like, yeah, I love how my body looks, like I feel great, like I feel like my you know what I mean, my upper looks phenomenal when I'm like this, or when I come and this makes me look like this, and I want to show the world, then that's more like own free will. But when you feel like it's I have to do it to get my likes up, that's more obligatory.
I will say that
a
is
sense.
part of it too, but
it
that
could be
part I
both,
feel like is
definitely.
even more like dark, especially to me, because I
Which part?
feel like the how you like categorize it as like being like my own free will, like
Okay.
you know what I mean. I like definitely have like posted pictures of myself, like not just to be like, oh, like come watch the podcast, but like I think I've talked about this like before on the show. When I was like in high school and when I was like whatever, and I feel like that's like kind of like when your brain is like developing the most and like you become like kind of who you are like the most. And I feel like that's why a lot of my humor is centered around this and whatever. Anyways, but I used to be a lot bigger. Like I used to like I don't know. I was just a lot bigger. I was overweight. And I didn't look like how I do now. And ever since like I lost the weight, like obviously people just in the world like treat you so much differently.
Mhm.
Like on social media, I get treated differently. Like I used to literally get called like the Pillsbury Doughboy when I was at school.
And now it's
like,
a whole nother 180. I bet.
Yeah, but
That's
it's like
crazy.
if I hadn't posted, I feel like I don't know, like me like posting like those like new pictures of myself like on Instagram, like I felt like I had to. So like, and it's like so like dark, and obviously like a part of me is like, oh, I could give a like I don't care what these people like who used to like literally give me like so much shit like think about me, but like a part of you like always does, and I'm like I want them to know that I'm like not a fat asshole anymore. Like, you know
But
what
you
I
never
mean?
prob-
So it's like
you
I,
not probably were, but you never were like, and that's just people's mentality, right?
you know, like
So,
I just felt like, you know, you feel like you have to be like, that's not me anymore, and like prove them wrong. And like
Gotcha.
that is like a big part as
You'll
to like
grow
why
out of
I
that.
did
So, yeah,
that.
exactly. So
You know,
so
You'll grow out of that in
maybe
your like mid-30s.
so how
literally, like it never goes away.
It does eventually. Trust me.
So now
At
how
some
do we
point, you'll
s-
stop giving a fuck about these things. That happens.
So how do we stop the 13-year-olds from, like you said, feeling the need to go be a part of strip talk and have to post this
Yeah.
kind of way?
I don't know if
and-
there is a way.
Yeah, I don't think there
This
is.
all going, and again, if it helps the algorithm, they're gonna do it.
And
Yeah.
I think that like obviously there needs to be like more like filtration on that kind of stuff because like even though like on stuff like TikTok like you can't post like sexually explicit stuff, which is like kind of wrong because I saw somebody else like on another podcast talk about this too, but I was on my For You page and I literally just saw some guy with a dick. He just had his dick in his hand. He had his dick in his hand. And I don't know if y'all are familiar
what is on your algorithms? Your
I was
algorithms are
shook.
wild.
I was shook. It was like cooking video, dick in my hand. And I'm like, how is this like getting past so many people that it's on my For You page?
Yo,
Like, I really
smoked
don't beef
sausage alert.
ragu.
Hey.
So one time I even saw, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Jacob Sartorius. He's like my age now, but when he was like 13, he said sweatshirt. Y'all know who it is. Anyways, so there was like this video and he had a wiener in his mouth and that was on my goddamn For You page. So I'm just like,
wait, what's your For You page?
it's when okay. You know how you're like on your home page on Instagram
So
or
you
like if
go
you go to
online,
your
it's probably like a
explore
bunch of
page.
Brazilian
Oh,
chicks.
got you.
Yeah, and it just like generates like what it thinks to like.
Yeah.
Apparently it thinks that I like wieners,
Let's see.
which is
Here
not
we go.
true. Don't like wieners.
For You, discover. Is that it? Will you hit discover?
Yeah.
I think. Oh, For You. Oh.
Yeah, like yours seems normal already.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I don't really go
But-
in here. I honestly go on TikTok because there's a friend that I used to deal with, and like,
so true, girlfriend.
no, definitely not a girl.
Oh no, I called you girlfriend.
Oh,
I do that. Sorry, girlfriend
Oh.
is
we haven't
gender
been.
neutral.
We haven't been like on the mic together in a while, so I missed that. Right? So, but anyways, so like she's beefing. Super matter of fact, from the strip club. She was a bartender at the strip club, so she's been like the super messy beef right now. TikTok beef.
She's on TikTok beef.
Oh,
The TikTok's drama.
yo,
That side of
and
TikTok
that's why I
is
want it.
nasty.
And
Like that shit is
I love it.
crazy.
I love it. So like she's beefing with her. She was the side piece, so she's beefing with the boy and the wife still. And I'm like, yo, this is amazing. Like this is phenomenal.
On TikTok,
So-
like for everybody to see, and it probably has like
And they
225k.
share it and it tag like it's so easy on TikTok. I can just click here and it just retrace. I'm like, holy shit, I get
Yeah.
everything right here. So right now the current status is, if everybody wants to see, there was a vehicle that was placed on order by the side piece that the husband thought he was going to get, but because this was a place before everything broke, shit broke, hell broke loose. So the side piece is now waiting for that vehicle to get delivered within the next week, and she's going to start driving it around because she bought it with her name and his name together, and the way they did it, she pretty much has priority
What?
over it.
That's
She co-signed
crazy.
it.
Who
Oh,
does
yeah.
that with the side piece?
Well, the side piece co-signed for it.
What?
So
Who
TikTok
does
is
that?
lit. I'm just learning how TikTok is
TikTok
lit.
is lit. Yeah,
So
that's
bad.
crazy.
I heard you had a crazy story though recently that you realized some family stuff.
Oh
Something
my
like that.
God. So I have a new auntie, and it's like, what the hell? And it's like, I'm allowed to talk about this because, like, my family sucks. Like, not my immediate family, but, like, honestly, and if they're gonna come for me about this, like,
Yeah.
say you don't. Like, I get, like, you do, and you know you do. So, like, my grandfather sucks ass. Like, he is like the worst person ever. Like, he's lied about being like a vet before. He was like, oh, I was in the army, but like he didn't. He literally had hid out Anne Frank style in my like aunt's attic while he
Yeah.
got drafted, and then they were like, where's this guy? Yeah, crazy stuff. And like now he like goes to like assemblies and he will like sit down and be like, I was a veteran, and everybody's like, no, you were not. And like we'll watch the History Channel and he'll be like, that's me, and we're like, literally, no, it's
No,
not.
that wasn't.
Like, he's a pathological liar. He's lied about everything. Like, he did some gnarly stuff to my mom, like when
jeez.
she was a kid, like crazy. He was like, that's not my kid. Like, crazy stuff. And we just found out that he has another daughter. I have an auntie. So shout out my auntie from Colorado.
Yay,
Shout out Auntie
welcome,
Tina.
Auntie, yay.
Woo! What are you gonna do? So that's what I found out. And like we told one of my other aunts, and she was like, yeah, I don't care. We were like, what's up with that? You got a sister. So I don't know. Pretty crazy stuff.
Always fun. when you
She's
meet
like
them.
talking to my mom and my mom's brother, but it's just like, what? Like, it's so crazy. Like the whole it's crazy. It's
That's a crazy
crazy.
story. That's a little bit of a shock.
Yeah.
As an adult to get that sort of information.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like ancestry.com or anything. Like one of my other family members knew, and I'll keep you on the low. whatever. But somebody told my mom, and I was like, oh my God. My mom told me, I was like, oh my God, freaking auntie vibes. What's up with that? It's crazy.
Is she cool though?
She looks just like my mom. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird. But
Different mother, though.
neither of like her other siblings like even look remotely like her. And like this one that she didn't know about, they look like freaking twins. It's
How far apart are they?
crazy. Like, only a couple years.
They all look exactly the same. They have the same face.
Your face, the Joe
All four
face.
kids have the same
Y'all
Yeah.
got the Joe
They all
face.
got it.
That's so funny. I look exactly like my dad too. It's so weird.
Imagine if your dad's neighbors back in the day called the cops on him, and he had to get the abortion.
Hot
Just like
shit.
if he lived in the modern days, he might not have had an auntie.
So true. Well, apparently
Mm.
the whole story is, and this is the part that I might have to go, but honestly I might leave it in, like whatever. But my grandfather like slept with his best friend's wife.
Whoa. So that's
Yeah,
the mother. The
it's,
best
like,
friend's wife
super
is the mother.
salacious. Yeah, and like she thought that it was like her actual husband's kid, but he
Oh.
was sterile, and he knew he was sterile. So guess
So
what he
raised her
did?
anyways.
No,
Some general
he
hospital
drove in
hospital
front of a
shit.
train track and he killed himself. Dark
'Cause he was
Oh,
sterile,
shit.
shit.
he knew it wasn't his
because
baby.
he was
Fuck
sterile and he
TikTok, this
knew
is
that it
dope.
wasn't his baby.
I mean, not dope, but
It's
Yo.
fucking
Why, this should
crazy.
be a show.
I know. It's like I had to talk about it, but it's like I'm gonna have to show my
Can we
mom this and be like, "Can
interview-
I talk about this?" Like, it's fucking cray.
Can we interview people now?
Would I just call her up and I'm like, "Hey, auntie, I just want to let you know that I put my whole life out on the internet and now I'm subjecting you to this."
I think we
Talk.
should create a soap opera based
If you will, I will, because I found out some crazy shit about my grandfather, and like, I know this is gonna sound bad. I don't think nobody's gonna watch this anyway, so whatever. But like, he's pretty much like his health probably next 5 years, whatever, right?
Oh my god, you're manifesting it for
like,
him.
I'm a fucking realist, right? I think in the next 5 years, the Earth probably won't exist because we've been fucked it up so bad.
True
But
story.
neither here nor there. But damn, oh yeah, he some spicy shit with him. Like he was like apparently he was the baby out of like two separate families. So like my great grandfather and my great grandmother, they
Mhm.
both were already married, and then they got together and said, "Hey, we're gonna get together, run away, and go to Detroit." And the outcome of that was my grandfather.
Oh my god.
So like, there's like family members that I'm just like, hey,
yeah, like you have no idea, and they just like keep showing up.
not even just showing up. I'm just like, well, now they're starting.
Yeah.
I signed up for Ancestry, so apparently like
Oh.
one side is heavy on this shit. So I'm like, bing, 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 what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then like I'm starting to get stories. So yeah.
Do you like connect with them, or are you just like, this is my family?
I'm just like, hey, I saw you on
Yeah.
whatever this is, and maybe like some people have sent me like friend requests and shit. I
Yeah.
have not accepted all of them. Like some people
If you're
I've
Rob's
seen.
family, stop requesting.
Yeah,
He
like
doesn't want it.
we're good. We
He's
don't
got
have
enough
to like.
family.
Yeah, I do a shitty enough job keeping in contact with my siblings.
Yeah.
So like hey cousin from da da da.
Hey,
I'm
third
not gonna
cousin from
call you.
Arkansas.
I hate being on the phone. I suck at Facebook messaging, all that other shit. Like, yeah, no. I'm
Because it's
just-
like, what do you even talk about with like your family that you don't know? You're like, oh yeah, how was your life like up until now? That's why I just like I don't really know what I would even say to this like aunt, because like it's not like I'm like a kid or
Yeah.
like she like has ever seen me grow up. Like I'm just like an adult. Like I'm just like some freak with like tattoos and like I look like an asshole.
That's the
You know what I
weirdest.
mean?
Try
And
to-
she
yeah.
would just be like, okay, like I can, whatever. I also have another family story, and this one is crazy. And this one is a little bit more like okay for me to share because it's all public record.
Gotta
So
lead with that.
that grandfather that is like no good at
Mhm.
all, he has a brother
Okay.
who conveniently killed his wife in the bathtub. We all know it. We all know it.
Does
He
your
killed his
boyfriend
wife
know
in the
this stuff?
bathtub.
Because like,
Yes!
the history isn't looking too good for him.
I know. And that's really why I wanted to talk about this, because we talked about it on the last episode a little bit, that I'm a crazy person and that I went to the doctor this week to be like, oh my God, what do I do? So what happened was, I said me and my mom were housekeepers,
Mhm.
right? So she gets sent to this house one time, because our like boss, it's like not, whatever. My mom like owns this cleaning company with her best friend, and her best friend is like, okay, yeah. Can you go over here to this address and like clean? And my mom is like, sure. And she gets there, and the name is too familiar. So then she realizes this is her uncle. This is her uncle, the brother of like her dad that literally sucks. And she realizes that this is the guy who killed his wife in the bathtub.
Jeez.
If you were wondering how he killed his wife in the bathtub, he smashed her face in and then held her underwater. So that's what happened, right?
Alrighty.
So it's like in his like paperwork or whatever, because obviously he doesn't like live like a normal life,
Mhm.
you know. So he lives in like a treatment facility, and my mom was sent there to clean. Like, and she had no idea that like
Oh,
this is
shit.
who the guy was gonna be, whatever. So she realizes, she like tells him or whatever after like the second time that she had been there, because she kept going back for whatever reason. I'm like, Mom, he's gonna kill you in the bathtub. Like, what is going on right now? Because I had never met him before. Like, none of us have ever like seen him because he's a kook. And this is, and I will insert the pictures if I am permitted to. But and the reason that I'm even talking about this, like, I don't usually talk about like my other experiences
Mhm.
doing like other people's jobs or doing other people's houses, because I don't like to put them on the expos or anything like that. Also, there's literally never anything like this. So of course it is coming from my own family member.
Mhm.
So that is why I feel like it is okay to do this. This is what my mom had to clean off of his house. This is human fecal matter. And I will bleep this part out. His name is Chester, and he has a dog who's
Whoa.
also named Chester.
Pretty weird.
Chester and
Yo.
Chester. And like there's just like shit like caked in the carpet. Like it's just like
Ugh.
crazy. And my mom cleaned that. So once again, I ask you, what is more demeaning? Cleaning your what is more demeaning? Wouldn't you rather have
Put
an
me on OnlyFans,
Put me on
please.
OnlyFans.
Only OF
Are
me,
you
please.
kidding?
OF me.
It's craziness. It's
Yeah, I
absolutely
don't
crazy.
know.
Mhm.
Oh
It's
man.
terrible.
Yeah, can you believe my life right now?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm
You
good.
believe it, I'm sure, but like it's me.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know, what are you gonna do? But also I have an update for the people. I went out the other night, and I'm like getting into this because I have a little update, because as I said before, like I was talking about all of my mental problems, which clearly is generational. You know, we've
Yep.
seen this. And I have officially gotten the diagnosis. I have ADHD, everybody.
No way.
What, are you serious? You're saying no way?
Yeah, I'm joking. I knew you had. ADHD.
Yeah, everybody knows that. It's pretty obvious.
I think you also
from looking
have,
at me.
What's that hyper activity?
What does that mean?
You know, when you're like,
That's ADHD. That's part of it.
oh, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
No, I definitely was right then.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
always feels
Yeah.
good when you diagnose somebody in your head and then they get
And then they get it.
You're like, I knew it.
So I have it, but so
How-
what do I do? Go on Adderall? They're like, you want to go on Adderall or Vyvanse? And I'm like, what's up with that? Like, have you ever like had any experiences with that? And I'm like, what if you're wrong and I don't have ADHD and then I'm just addicted to Adderall?
the chances of them being wrong, honestly, are slim and none. Just so you know.
Okay, whatever. I'm like a goldfish. I understand that. But like, you know,
I don't know. I have no.
you have no prior experience. I just figured that somebody, because everybody that I talk to is like, oh my god, yeah, I also do that.
So like, yeah,
Maybe
I
it's just that I'm around freaks, but
the one time I almost tried to Addy, my boy was like, so listen, make sure you're doing whatever you want to be doing after you do this, because you won't be able to stop. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, like you're gonna get super focused into whatever you're doing, so just make sure you're doing something fun. And at that point I said, yeah, no, I'm out.
yeah, like I feel like
Wow.
I don't know if the side effects are the same for like people who like actually have it. Like, I just like cannot imagine
Yeah,
if
no,
I was like taking Adderall,
But
like
then again,
what
this
my
isn't
my
medicinal
brain
for
would
you,
function
so-
as.
Your brain.
Nice.
So you know, it's funny. I have a child who does have ADHD.
Okay.
And the doctor wanted to put this child on Adderall or one of those things.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not a big fan of medication.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to
Agreed.
get your input on that, especially
So,
after the
The
vaccines.
doctor said to me, imagine if you had asthma and you were running a race.
Mhm.
And I told you you're going to race all these kids, but you can't use your inhaler.
Yeah.
Would that be fair?
I feel like that's unfair for a doctor to say.
She said
Yeah, it's not the. I
the
feel like it's not the same.
ADHD pills, all it does is level the playing field so that this kid can focus. And she started taking it and got her head out of her ass.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you think my head will be out of my ass?
It should be a little bit. Listen, she's
My head is in my ass.
I hear you say that, and I just see it so literal, like just cover, not like in
but
essence, but
less.
like the
Oh
fact
my
that you know
God.
exactly.
Yeah, like I feel like my head is definitely in my ass. Like I just do so much stupid shit, and I just am so impulsive, and I'm just such an idiot sometimes. And you
But then again,
know,
you're what, 19, 20?
yeah, but it's like abnormal. Like I get myself like you'll see when we go outside what my car looks like right now, and it's purely because I cannot focus. Like I cannot pay attention. Like I have no front bumper, and it sounds like.
I put that to being a 19, 20-year-old girl. Like honestly, like
Well,
there's
it's to
not a lot
point
of
where,
great
like, my
drivers that
safety-
are girls that are 19, 18, experience, right? Yeah, so like I've just seen it. Like, you know how many girls I've seen wreck their Ford Mustangs because daddy got it for them when we were in high school, and
That's the thing,
like,
though. I pay
or like
so
the
much
fucking
money.
Honda Civics or Accords that they had the little pink pearly fucking dice in that have like never have a full body kit on it because they just wreck it, or they miss the fucking curb, or they don't see the yellow bumper and they just go over it. I don't necessarily say that's ADHD. I'm not a doctor. Yeah, I just sounds like typical 19, 20-year-old.
It's
lady
my
stuff.
I'll like, and I feel like fine like sharing this kind of stuff because like honestly like a lot of people are like, Victoria, what the fuck are you doing? You shouldn't say that on the internet. I'm like, dude, I don't care. Like, what I said this last week too. What do I have to lose? It's not like I have a baller ass life or a baller ass job that somebody's gonna be like, okay, because you told us about your ADHD, you cannot have that anymore. I'm gonna do it anyways. And so I just like will spend money to a point where it's like, oh my god, like what, like
Sounds
how,
like a typical
but like
growing
it
up
will
young
be
adult.
to a point where I like fuck myself and like I cannot get like,
not
and I
sure what you
know
mean
that
by
I can't
that.
get like any help. Not literally.
Tell
I
me
have not
something
started
that
an
sounds
OnlyFans.
out of the normal. You want to know how many that's gonna sound crazy. How many young soldiers that I had when I was in the military that I was in charge responsible for that didn't know how to drive, didn't know how to fucking keep their car intact, didn't know how to keep anything clean,
Maybe they
didn't know
forgot
how to
ADHD
fucking money
medication.
management. Oh, I was also one of those people too. So like, what's up? Like,
That's so true.
it's called growing. And like, I'm 30 years old and I'm just getting it.
So
I'm just getting it.
He's right.
I'll do an update on like whether I get
Do we
on
want
something
full
or not.
transparency? Like,
No, yeah.
seriously, this has been my first year breaking 700 credit score and keeping it.
Yeah.
And I'm 34 years old.
Congratulations.
Swag,
34.
swag,
So that,
swag.
and I just learned that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's not even like where I'm at in the 700s. There's people that are younger than me that actually took that shit serious.
Yeah.
And like, but that's just growth. And I say all that just for growth. Like, don't feel like, oh, I'm doing all this shit on my car. That's learning, right? So
Mhm.
now you're enjoying yourself. Do you kind of tweak some things because you might hear certain experiences and learn a little bit? Yeah, but then you're still going to live your life. I think that's another thing that we and I think maybe even with my generation is starting to be a little bit more understanding, especially with younger generations. Like, yeah, we did the same stupid shit. I think we might be one of the fewer generations that's like, whatever. Like, you're gonna do stupid shit. You're gonna fuck it up. You're not like I remember being 18, 19, 20 and being like, fuck, I gotta fucking know all this shit. I gotta figure all this shit out. You don't like, and it's so crazy that society puts so much pressure on it, but then there's 30, 40-year-olds that don't know what the fuck they're doing still, but they're just in positions where nobody's going to question them because they're older, right? The only people that fucking question them are the fucking government and police, you know what I mean? Like law enforcement. That's it.
No.
Outside of that, you don't see 21-year-olds being like, yeah, man, what does your 401k look like? What is your monthly plan? What is your goal? Nobody's going to ask that shit. And then once again, I think between like, because Joe's not a baby boomer, but like that between, what was it, X, Y, whatever the fuck it is, between me. Anyways, his generation was like, you know what I mean? The fucking generation, but they kept all the secrets. So then we finally like are starting to learn the secrets as they got a little bit older and shit like that. I think my generation is starting to be like, all right, here's the shit that you need to know. So and a lot of like their generation going into your generation, even though it's like pretty similar, you're just like, all right, y'all are putting that shit into effect. So hopefully by the time when y'all are like 30 years old and y'all are like, holy shit, you're right, I'm just now getting it. But now you're more effective than the other, you know, than the younger generations that
Mhm.
come behind you guys. So I personally see it getting better for the good, you know, to the sense of like a lot of like even now, right? I at my job now, you would think that working in tech, you would have to be, you know, kind of like, you know, a little maybe like
Mhm.
not necessarily suit and tie, but you know, like slacks and you know, button up or a polo. It's come as you are. Most of my meetings, I'm in a fucking hoodie. If
Mhm.
I go to the office, I'm in a hoodie, I'm in a hat, I'm chilling. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's just the growth and the mindset, you know, and the things that you know what I mean of generations to come, right?
Mhm.
But back then you would have had to been getting your shirt and your tie. I would have had to have a briefcase and all this other. Oh, that's not the case anymore. So you
Mhm.
guys got it lucky. So don't feel like you go.
Going back to like the medication thing, because
Mhm.
I know that like you're on board with it now.
Only because it worked.
Yeah. I was a half an hour late today. And this has been my new thing. I don't know if I talked about it like last week, but I have like such bad anxiety. And I don't know if it's caused by like an underlying thing or like whatever. But I literally had to stop at Dunkin' and throw up in the parking lot because like I just have that much anxiety, you know? And it has been like happening to me for like the past like month now. But like I will literally have to pull over like on the side of the highway just because like I like freak myself out to that point. And like I am so scared of getting on something for it because like I don't know if I just like grew up and my whole family's like granola, earthy, crunchy, and like anti medicine, and like I've just been like freaked out by it. But it's just like everybody keeps telling me that like I'll become like dependent on it, or like I'll become like dependent on something and like I'll be fine and like I could just like work through it. And then it's like, and it like trips you up so much because you like almost talk yourself out of like thinking that something's actually wrong with you, or like you think that it's like normal. But I know that it's not normal to like have to pull over on like 84 and
It's
like
not. You
throw
should get
up.
on something. You need
Like
something for your anxiety. Clearly,
yeah.
that's
Like
not
that's
healthy.
just I just feel like I don't know. I
Yeah, don't do that
feel like a
anymore.
lot of people like struggle with that because I feel like there's like a lot of stuff. Ugh, I feel like there's like a lot of stuff about like medication that like comes off as like factual, but it's like not. And especially with all like the side effects and stuff, like you watch like the commercials for like medication, it's like side effects, suicidal thoughts, and like you will die and
If
you'll have a brain aneurysm. And then we'll come into your family's house and kill everybody. That's the side effects.
Yeah, sucks. Definitely a side effect you could get. But again, I would say, would you rather have this side effect, or would you rather pull over every day as you're driving somewhere and puke?
Mm, that is so
I feel
true.
like your options are limited.
Yeah, I feel like my options are limited. Speaking of limited options, y'all ladies in Texas, sorry. RIP that. Hey.
I'm not a female, so I'm gonna keep quiet.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't keep quiet because what do you think about this, my friend? I'm sure everybody knows what's going on. Joe honestly explained it to me because I have already known that the abortion laws in Texas have needed some revision for quite some time. Like obviously, before this, my understanding of it was that obviously like, you couldn't get an abortion after 6 weeks, and 6 weeks is only missing your period for 2 weeks. And most of the times, by when you're 6 weeks pregnant, you have no idea that you're pregnant. Like you just have no idea. A lot of people don't even find out until 7 weeks, and it doesn't even show up on like if you go to like Target and buy like a pee
Mm.
stick, it like usually doesn't even show up until you're 7 weeks pregnant. So the fact that the abortion laws to begin with were 6 weeks, or it's like if you miscarry after 6 weeks, you literally have to walk around with a stillborn inside of you and not deliver it because that's considered an abortion. But yeah, that was already the laws. That those were already put in place. But now if I'm just like talking and I say to Joe, "Hey, I had an abortion." Facts. He could literally call the cops on me and be like, "She had an abortion." And then he could sue my ass for emotional distress and I'll be in jail and out $10,000.
That's
For
crazy.
what? So it's like so if I was like in say I traveled to Texas right now
Yep.
and I had an abortion in Connecticut and I told somebody from Texas that I had an abortion in Connecticut,
If you were a Texas
could they
resident,
do it to me?
if you were a Texas
Are you
resident,
kidding?
yep.
I think so. I shouldn't say that.
What if
Well,
I'm a
maybe-
Connecticut
maybe.
resident and I'm just visiting Texas? What if I'm
No,
on
I don't think
vacation with my country boots?
Well, there. I don't know. That could be the old slippery slope.
That is a slippery slope.
I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be a woman living in Texas.
Yeah. I'm
And
willing
I
to
don't
advocate.
even know, because I tell you too, Rob, I don't even know what exactly the I don't know what the threshold is exactly, and I don't know that anybody does until that law gets put into place.
Oh, so it hasn't been put into place
Oh,
yet?
it's
I
in
thought
place,
it was.
but I'm saying it hasn't been applied yet, so we don't know.
Oh,
what it
like
is. And I
nobody's
told
been
you
like
earlier,
taken away. Like
before this law went into effect, the only way you would be able to do something, be able to sue another person, is if you had legal standing.
mhm.
It has to personally affect you.
Yeah.
This law, they've thrown that out the window to the point where it doesn't matter.
So I don't think there's anything that we can do about it. I would usually be like, send this petition, but I think it's too late. I think it's just happening.
A
I
lot
don't
of
think there's anything
companies
we
are
can do about it.
are pressuring Texas to try to change that law.
I will always shit
I
on
don't think
Texas
they
until
will.
they fix it.
You know,
I can't do nothing much.
some
but
years ago, they passed a law that the hallways had to be a certain size in an attempt to shut down all the abortion clinics.
What?
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, they passed laws about attending nurses and how many have to be in any given area. I mean, what they're doing is they're just trying to
Like create so much nuance that like it's
make it
impossible for the place to stay
And
open.
again, at the end of the day, Victoria, we were talking just before the show. They just don't want you to have sex.
Yeah.
That's their number one goal. They would really like
Stop
it if you
fucking
didn't
people.
fuck anybody, because it really offends them and their Jesus guy.
I put
I
it this
totally
way.
feel
I
that.
saw a post and it was like pretty much like, how about we go ahead and vasectomy guys since it's reversible? And then
Yeah.
at that point I said, yeah. And then imagine all the guys that be like, no, you're not touching my junk.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it doesn't fucking feel too good, does it? Like,
Mhm.
yeah, imagine if they're like, no, we can't connect you until you prove worthiness or whatever. Yeah, motherfuckers be like, my
Seriously.
body, my choice then. So I'm all for women being able to choose whatever you want to do with your body, because one, that's your obligation. And then if you don't want to bring it into the world, I don't want to pay for it in taxes.
Seriously,
I'm
like
sorry.
what's up with that? And it's not like your tax money's going to the abortions, because it's not. Like, am I wrong? It's not.
Just like
And
if you
It's like literally like the only, like one of the only like health services that is just like it's not government funded, like literally at all.
it's Bible driven, it's religious driven, and it's driven by an old white male mentality that will just never fucking die.
And you know what?
Well,
I also
not never, but eventually it's gonna die. Hopefully in the next like 5-10 years.
I mean,
The mentality.
definitely, I don't think it'll be the next 5-10 years, because this is a hot. Like, I don't think that that's even feasible. But like, hopefully within the next like couple decades.
Now, if by chance if Texas were to turn blue, I'm pretty sure that other governor would be able to turn that shit around by executive order. Hopefully,
You
maybe.
would hope so, but you know, these
knows?
Republicans also have a way lately of look what they did in Virginia and in I forget the other state. Virginia and maybe North Carolina.
What was that?
They got a Michigan. They got a Democratic governor, and the Republican legislature basically stripped the governor of its ability to make powers.
Oh, okay. So yeah, pretty much.
I mean, the
typical shit.
Republicans are playing, and this is what I get
Dirty,
so
dirty
pissed
games.
about the Democrats. I mean, the
They're so-
Republicans are playing a different game, and they're winning, and it ain't even close,
Yeah.
and it's sad. But again, it feeds into my narrative of, as bad as the Republicans are, the Democrats are
Just as
absolutely
worse.
incompetent.
The last thing that I wanted to talk about is Bro Jogan having COVID. So as I'm sure everybody knows, he is like pretty much like the biggest anti-vaxxer, like that's like really like public about it. Well, I
He
would
says
say
he's
he's
not
like,
anti-vax is the funny part.
yeah, well,
He's
I
just
would
not
say
sure.
he's the biggest anti-vaxxer that like gets away with it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people like don't call him out for it and are like, oh, he's not anti-vax. Like he's so clearly is, because he would rather take like heartworm treatment for like dogs and sheeps, and
He's out here taking heart guards.
he is, but like the difference is like he's
That's
taking like the thousands of dollars like super high grade version of it. And he also took this thing called Regeneron. You know what I'm talking about?
Is that what the
That's what
former
Trump
president? Yeah,
took.
okay, yeah.
And let's just be real, it probably saved Trump's life, that Regeneron, you know, like he obviously was like really sick from COVID, but that is not accessible to everybody. And what Joe Rogan did that was like so damaging is that he grouped Regeneron in with all of those other like cocktails of things that he like put together. I'm pretty sure that he said he took prednisone as well. And like that in combination with having COVID and other COVID antibiotics just makes your immune system even more resistant to antibiotics. And promoting that kind of stuff and like taking that many things just like increases America and in specifics problem with antibiotic resistance, you know, because we already like kind of have a problem with that. Like our bodies are like already pumped with like so much stuff that like antibiotics don't really like want to work on us. So if you're gonna like group Regeneron in with all of this other stuff, when it's like Regeneron costs so much money and only like the highest people can get it, and I hope that I'm saying the name of it right. Like
it sounds about right.
yeah, like grouping that in with like stuff to fix heartworms in animals and like saying that those are like the equivalent of like buying it. And if you go on Tractor Supply, like it's like sold out. Like you like can't buy like the heartworm
The
stuff.
So people are
released a
buying.
statement and said, "Stop taking it. You're not a horse."
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
it's crazy. Like they're taking like Joe Rogan. It is approved for like some like cases of things. It's not COVID. It's not, you're not supposed to take it for COVID, but like there is like a human whatever that like you can take, but like normal people don't have access to that. So they're literally going out and buying like the sheep or the horse version.
Well, incidentally, he tested negative
For COVID after like a couple days, but that's not because of that. It's from the freaking Regeneron. Like
Now,
obviously.
but how is anybody gonna believe that? More people are gonna take that horse medication, thanks to Joe Rogan, who is an idiot.
Let them take it.
And
let them take the
let's
bleach.
let's talk about this too.
People.
The Regeneron has just as much like trial and error as any of these COVID vaccines do. It's not FDA approved. It's not. So like, what's the difference between like taking a COVID vaccine and
People
taking
should
that?
just take
It's
what they wanna take.
crazy.
Just see what works for them.
I
We'll
know, but
sort
it's
it
like
out
if
in
we
5
would have
years
had
when
the
people
resources to
are
this
here,
fucking
people are not.
Regeneron or whatever, then none of us would get vaccinated either. We would just be able to poof and like make ourselves better.
Says
but
the
like,
person not vaccinated.
I think more
Whatever.
people should use ivermectin. That's what I'd like to see.
What is
I'd
that?
like to see. That's the horse stuff.
Oh yeah, I didn't know what that was.
Maybe
I want to see more people use cannabictobium.
Agreed.
Cannabictobium is amazing.
I think Joe Rogan's fans should all take that stuff and let us know how it's working out.
Can we get a spelling on cannabictobium?
So true.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
On that note, does anybody have any last words?
Yeah, I do. Listen, I mean, instead of being an asshole, if you know, I mean, look, we have a nice following here. We just try to talk legit. We have conversations about the vaccine and about shit, and we don't always agree. We try to find out what's going on.
Facts.
There's a lot of stupid people out there, and there's a lot of stupid people telling more stupid people stupid shit. And I wish they would stop, because I'd really like this thing to be over. And that's it.
So true. On that note, you can find us at clevercrestmedia.com/loserspay double. Do we have our own page now? Oh my god, iconic, fancy, awesome.
I like that
sexy,
name.
swag.
Losers pay double.
Yeah, it's because I have to pay double for everything because I don't send anything in. I don't send in tolls. I don't pay medical bills. I don't do anything.
Do you realize
Didn't
that
take my
me
car
and you
through
have
emissions.
like the two dopest like names of podcasts on this fucking network?
That is so true.
Losers pay double. I'll
push
push
off
out shortly. Like we're fucking winning. I would high five you, but you're not vaxxed.
My hands are really clammy too. Sweaty.
Right.
I know. I'm totally sweaty, even though it's kind of cold down here, but don't get it confused. I'm not sick. Anyways. Love you guys.
Bye.
Oh my god, that was so stupid.
Done.